Yeah, Wrath of the Jarhand is what we're going to be playing right now. And we are joined by LurkNautili, who is responsible for the programming/IT stuff. Let me just go ahead and read the game page here. A love letter to Doom. In Wrath of the Jarhead, you fire out hands and reel them back. If the cable of a hand is severed, you must retrieve the severed limb from the battlefield by walking directly over it. In one of these fists is your heart in a jar, or is it somebody else's? In either case, you can't live very long without it. So either kill or be killed, and don't let them break your heart. Good luck. Okay, left click fires right hand, fast, reliable, non-lethal if connection is lost. Right click fires left hand, deadly explosion, must retrieve within 7 seconds if severed. Walking directly over a severed limb picks it up, okay? I hope the left-right thing isn't going to be too confusing for me to remember. Didn't have quite time to fix the mountain of bugs. We'll do our best to not worry about that. Cool. So let's get LurkNautili on the call here. Hello?
Hi, is this working?
Yep, I can hear you.
Cool.
Alright, welcome to the stream.
Thanks for having me. I wasn't expecting it this fast. I was kind of expecting to have the rest of the team, or some of them at least, on here, but hopefully I can answer some of their questions as well.
Sure. I mean, I will just say real quick, like, if you do want to, like, bump it to a later slot, like, now that your name has come up, I can reserve this for another time for you. This is not like a now or never sort of thing.
Maybe. I'm thinking, because we're gonna patch the game after Sunday, but
Okay.
It's not gonna be fair for, like, the game jam sort of context to evaluate it based on, like, a patched state. So in that sense, it'd be cooler to do it sooner rather than later.
Sure. I mean, if you're looking for a like ratings and feedback, I can take a look at it now, or I'm also cool to have you guys send a post-jam version for me to take a look at. Have a few more people on as part of the conversation. That's totally fine as well.
Well, I don't know if there's going to be any guarantee of everybody or even multiple people coming on later, so might as well do it now,
Sure.
I guess.
That's totally fine. Let's go ahead with the conversation then. And first and foremost, thank you so much for the subscription.
No problem. I like the show. It's production could use a bit of polish here and there, but the concept is really solid. It's like a bona fide interview show.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm very new to this streaming thing. Like, it might not seem like I've been on Twitch for a long time, but it's not like I've been doing it as consistently as I have recently. So, genuinely, any feedback you have, maybe you can shoot me a message over the Discord and let me know. If you have any suggestions, I'm more than happy to hear them.
Yeah, sure.
See if I can round off some of those sharp edges. So, let me go ahead and get the game started here, and I will go ahead and ask the first question, which is, how did you decide what you're going to make for the jam?
So we knew we wanted to use Unreal, which pretty much is only, well, I mean, it's easily conducive to 3D games. It doesn't really do 2D all that well. So we kind of had some idea, plus the team we formed. We had a 3D artist, a couple of sound people, and somebody who had experience with Unreal blueprints and design and stuff like that. So yeah, and then we just had to decide on what the concept would be, and that was like an hour of brainstorming or so.
Nice. All right. And you also mentioned that it's a love letter to Doom.
Yeah, kind of.
Was that because of any particular team member's inspiration or familiarity with the Doom game, or just sort of happened to be similar?
I don't know. Personally, I don't know if anybody expanded on their motivations for suggesting things. It's just sort of kind of what it, I don't know, it organically grew towards that. I'm not sure where the ideas came from. I'm assuming at least a couple of our team members are big fans of the franchise.
Sorry, if you see the stream right now, I'm just wondering, where is my arm going that is coming back in from that direction?
I think we screwed up with one of the, well, we definitely screwed up one of our last commits to the Git, where we accidentally wiped out some changes. I think what I did was, because the arm gets severed, what happens is it's a UE cable component, and like nominally it's attached to the hand, which is another actor, and the wrist, which is a part of your character's actor, and it draws a cable between them. When it gets severed like that, it spawns two static mesh components, applies physics to them, drops them on the floor. What I think happens is somehow one of them gets clipped out of bounds. I think because all of these areas are sort of enclosed in these volumes to keep track of the enemies and respawn them. You can respawn you and open the doors and stuff once you've cleared them all. I think those colliders are just pushing the invisible static mesh components out of bounds.
Yeah, it's not actually impeding the gameplay or anything. It's just a funny anomaly.
Yeah, that one's kind of innocuous and funny and cute. But once your arm, there's this bug that people kept reporting to us, which we didn't encounter in our, well, admittedly short amount of playtesting, which is that your arm can disappear entirely, or one of your hands, or both of them, and then it's completely hard locked. You can't like progress at all.
Yeah. All right. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Oh, we've got a lot of money, a lot of monsters in here.
Yeah, we only had time to put 3 different enemy types in, so you've seen 2 out of 3 so far.
Right.
We actually did like a practice run the previous weekend where we said, okay, let's set aside 24 hours and do like a mini jam and see what we can do. And that one, we didn't quite complete the game, but it was like another, it was like a puzzle platformer type thing with like a robotic dino, some kind of robotic chicken or dinosaur character or something. Lizard maybe? I don't know.
And so how did that practice session go?
I would say it went pretty well. We quickly caught the concept. There was some, because what we wanted to do was switch dimension. It was actually hilarious. It was almost the same themes we got here. The theme prompt we got for the practice jam from like a generator or something was, shoot, it was, I think it was everything is connected or something.
Huh.
So what we wanted to do was like have like alternate dimensions and stuff, and a way to move between the dimensions, and basically that was like streaming levels in Unreal, and having to like network them or like have them exist in the same space and load them and unload them on demand.
Interesting.
And kind of struggled to implement that.
Oh, we've got some comments coming in from the chat, and now is a bad time to grab them because my heart. Oh, why couldn't I pick it up? Okay, I respawn here. That's pretty generous. That's not so bad. All right. So, first of all, Nulled is mentioning that the models look very clean, and yeah, they do indeed. And the monster design especially, yeah, looks really great. DeGrand, I did a game with the Dimension Mechanics. Great. And you also submitted your game. You were just saying that it's going to be, you have to rejoin a little bit later. Nice. Okay. Levi is asking, how did you feel about the game throughout the jam while working on it?
I would say initially I felt very confident, and then my confidence dwindled. The further I got into the jam, it was like, I can solve that. This shouldn't be a problem. And then there's like these unforeseen sort of weird showstoppers that just ate into the time and made me regret spending so much time trying to design a sane software architecture. Initially, I should have just taken shortcuts right off the bat.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, alright. So, Nulled is asking how much time was spent on the polishing.
It's hard to say, because, I mean, some aspects were like, we were trying to do as minimal an implementation early on as possible, and I think Kanuki did like basic versions of the 3D models. At least there was a simpler version of this character that existed, and then he did a more polished version of it later on. I don't know if we had like a sound polish round. I think it was mostly just like constant iteration, because the sound guys or sound guy and gal were kind of in their own world, doing their own thing, and like every now and then we would like give feedback on the art and the music and sound and stuff. So it was kind of like just constantly evolving.
Nice. Yeah, just sort of working to the last minute, get everything as polished as it can be in each sort of each field, like each discipline.
I think we would have definitely benefited from doing like an actual, like full, mechanically working product on the first day, and then actually separate out a segment for polishing, rather than sort of just winging it. We tried to keep it structured, but it didn't quite work out the way we wanted.
So do you think you've learned anything in particular that you're going to carry forward to future jam projects?
Well, for me, it was my first jam project. I think our sound guy, Bravo, was the only one who'd done jams previous to this. So there's definitely a lot I learned in terms of, well, most of it is like an intuitive grasp of things like scoping things properly for this kind of time span. In my work, I usually think in terms of like months, or like sprints at their shortest can be like, what, 5 days or something? Like 2 days is insane.
I seem to be stuck here.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's it's game over.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to see if I can get myself killed by these razor blades.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good solution to the problem. Those aren't supposed to be going through the walls either. Let's just say they're ethereal blades.
Yes, I did it! I did it!
Nice.
All right. That's just, it's you know, it's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely gotta give props to our whole team. They did an excellent job. The artists, Lucy, she did an excellent job with on the soundtrack. It's a banger. And the sound design by Bravo is really sound as well. Also, you know, Kanuki's art, these 3D assets are, you know, cool as hell.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could definitely see the sort of like Doom inspiration, but okay, I died there, that's fine. So Levi is also asking, what do you enjoy most about doing jams?
I liked how we just sort of did a pickup group of like just complete strangers coming together and working together on a common goal, and how surprisingly smoothly it all went, considering we didn't know each other like a couple of weeks ago.
Nice. I'm glad that all worked out. So did you use like the team finder, or?
Yeah, I put up a post there. Initially, I complained to the developers of the tool. It's like, why can I only like start my own team? Why can I not like look for existing teams without like having to message them? But it worked out in the end, so yeah, they ran out of time for implementing it quite the way they wanted. So it's surprisingly, I wouldn't have done this jam without that finder tool. So kudos to those guys.
Nice. I'm glad that you were able to work together with a team, and I like the idea of doing this sort of like practice jam to get used to the idea of working together. See what the workflow is.
So this is like the final room of this entire game, and Mark, basically our sort of glue slash team leader slash blueprint guy,
Yeah.
who did a lot of the AI and stuff like that. He added an ending to this game. So on the sort of wall to the right there below is there would be a door that opens and there's like a bright white light and you walk into it and the game ends.
Yeah.
But somehow this like final git commit we got from Bravo, it like wiped out Mark's changes and now there's no ending, and there's no like the menu has the wrong name and all this other stuff. And yeah,
but we're here. This is the end.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least we got through to see everything there was, even if it unfortunately wasn't Is this the like sort of working title?
Oh, we had like so many. We had this whole channel of like game name suggestions, and we just ran like Cardio Sling was one, and The Lonely Hearts Club was another one. If You Break My Heart, I'll Die. Uh, Heartlink. All kinds of stuff like that.
Nice. That's um, all right. So, can you recommend a useful shortcut or a clever hack in the Unreal Engine that you think would be helpful to others?
Well, anybody who's getting started in the engine, it's good to realize that it implements a lot of stuff out of the box that
Mhm.
many other engines don't. So it's a good idea to Google around, like, oh, how do I do this thing? And then oftentimes it turns out, oh, there's a component already does this thing. Just include it and configure it to your needs.
Yeah. So don't reinvent the wheel. Just look for something that is doing the job.
Yeah, like for instance, in this, I was like, well, I need a cable thing or like a rope thing. So I was
Mhm.
like, well, I wonder if there's cables in Unreal because I hadn't seen them in the engine, but it turns out there's like an Epic Games authored plugin called Cable Component, which is really finicky if you want to do some like weird stuff with it like this. But yeah, still probably saved us some time.
Nice. All right. And people in chat, please feel free to keep sending your questions. Otherwise, what are your plans for the game going forward?
I am definitely gonna personally at least fix a whole bunch of bugs that have
Mhm.
been bugging me since that fateful Sunday.
Mhm.
After that, there's some interest in further developing the stuff from the
Nice.
team, like new levels and enemies and stuff. Maybe some puzzle elements too, or some interesting interactions with the hands that we didn't have time to really investigate. So yeah, we'll probably be looking into that. But bare minimum is a bug fixed release where it doesn't just like completely screw the player over. Hopefully,
Mhm.
sometime next week.
Sounds good. So with the are you gonna have like the sort of ability to grapple from the fist launched into the ceiling, or is that an idea?
Yeah, either that or you can push buttons or reach some faraway thing with it, or
Nice.
the grapple would be different. Currently, it's kind of elastic. It's got
Right.
like this Hook's Law thing going on where,
Yeah.
it's like a rubber band.
Yeah.
It would need to behave more like a rope for grappling, probably, unless it's like a thing that it just sort of zips you towards that point directly, like applies a force. Maybe that could work. Doesn't have to be like physically realistic
Mhm.
necessarily.
Yeah. Totally. All right. So I assume, other than the team here, is there any other projects that you like to give a shout out to or promote?
Hmm. I should probably link to some of their. I don't really have any public stuff myself, but I know Bravo's been in some other game jams before,
Mhm.
so there's probably stuff on his itch profile.
Yeah.
Lucy, she's got a band camp of some kind of her music. Um, and Kanuki, I think he has a YouTube, but we'll just have to add those to those pages because I don't know where those links are off the top of my head.
I'm grabbing and dropping their itch.io pages, the ones that are linked here at least.
Yeah, cool.
So Bravo's I did, Kanuki's I did, Lucy's I'm doing now, and there's yourself as well. Go ahead and make sure to put that in. So you said like you did the practice jam last weekend, but otherwise is this the first game jam that you've submitted to?
Yes, I haven't done a game jam before. The previous two GMTK jams, I started writing some stuff on like the HTML5 canvas element. But yeah, I just, I just started writing physics engines both times and just sort of got lost in the weeds.
Right. Well, congratulations on actually submitting this time, and I hope it was a good learning experience for you at least. And even if like you can still play it to the end, even if it's not 100% to your satisfaction. And hopefully you'll be able to release that post-jam version, and when you do, I look forward to trying it out.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up.
All
It'll be
right.
updated on the GitHub or the itch page.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, I'll talk to you later then.
All right, thanks for having me.
Likewise, and thanks for participating on the call, and thanks so much for participating so much in the stream.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.